The massive lion stood motionless in the middle of Route 27, just 50 yards from the entrance to Riverside City Zoo. His golden mane caught the afternoon sunlight as 17-year-old Emma Rodriguez slowly stepped from her disabled Honda Civic. The 400-pound male African lion had somehow escaped during the morning feeding routine, and now he was face to face with a teenager whose car had broken down at the worst possible moment. Emma had been driving home from her job at the local animal shelter when her engine died directly in front of the zoo's main entrance. As a veterinary student and lifelong animal lover, she immediately recognized the magnificent creature blocking her path. This wasn't just any escaped zoo animal. This was Aslan, the Riverside Zoo's most beloved resident, whom Emma had visited countless times during her childhood. "Easy, Aslan," Emma whispered, her voice remarkably steady despite her racing heart. "I know who you are, big guy." The lion's amber eyes fixed on her with an intensity that should have been terrifying, but Emma felt something unexpected: recognition. Aslan had been born at the Riverside Zoo 12 years ago, and Emma's late mother, Dr. Sarah Rodriguez, had been the veterinarian who delivered him. Emma had grown up visiting Aslan, often accompanying her mother during routine checkups and medical procedures. Zoo security alarms blared in the distance, and Emma could hear approaching emergency vehicle sirens. But in this moment, it was just her and the lion who had been part of her life since childhood. Aslan took a slow step toward her, his massive paws silent on the asphalt, and Emma remembered the countless times she had watched him through the safety of his enclosure. "You remember me, don't you?" Emma said softly, slowly extending her hand toward the magnificent predator. "You remember my mom? She used to bring me to see you when you were just a cub." Dr. Michael Stevens, the zoo's current head veterinarian, arrived just as Emma made contact. Through his binoculars, he watched in amazement as the escaped lion gently sniffed Emma's outstretched hand, showing none of the aggressive behavior typically exhibited by stressed captive animals in unfamiliar environments. "This is impossible," Dr. Stevens radioed to the emergency response team. "The lion is showing calm, friendly behavior toward a civilian. He's not exhibiting distress or aggression." Emma's connection with Aslan went deeper than anyone realized. Throughout her childhood, she had spent hundreds of hours at the zoo, often helping her mother with routine veterinary care. Aslan had grown up seeing Emma as a familiar, trusted presence, and even after her mother's death from cancer 2 years earlier, Emma had continued visiting him regularly. "Mom would be so proud of you," Emma whispered to Aslan, her eyes filling with tears as she gently stroked the lion's massive head. "You grew up to be such a beautiful, gentle giant." Response teams had formed a perimeter, but Dr. Stevens made the unprecedented decision to allow the interaction to continue. "She's not in danger," he explained to the police captain. "This lion has known this girl since he was a cub. They have a bond that transcends normal human-animal relationships." What happened next would be captured on dozens of cameras and cell phones, creating footage viewed by millions worldwide and fundamentally changing how experts understood the emotional capacity and memory of captive lions. As Emma continued gently stroking Aslan's mane, the lion did something that left the assembled emergency responders speechless. He slowly lowered his massive body to the ground and rolled onto his side, exposing his belly in the ultimate gesture of trust and submission that lions reserve only for their closest family members. "He's showing submission behavior," Dr. Stevens documented through his radio, his voice filled with amazement. "In 12 years of working with Aslan, I've never seen him display this level of trust with any human. This suggests a profound emotional connection beyond normal animal-keeper relationships." Emma knelt beside the gentle giant, remembering how her mother had taught her to check for signs of injury or distress in large cats. As she ran her hands along Aslan's sides, checking his breathing and looking for problems, the lion began making soft rumbling sounds deep in his chest, not warning growls, but contented purring vocalizations indicating complete relaxation. "You're not hurt, are you, buddy?" Emma asked, her veterinary training taking over. "You just wanted to go for a walk, didn't you?" The crowd had grown to include zoo staff, police, EMTs, and dozens of bystanders, all maintaining respectful distance while documenting this unprecedented interaction. Among them was Dr. Patricia Williams, an animal behaviorist from the University of California visiting to study primate social structures. "What I'm witnessing defies conventional understanding of lion psychology," Dr. Williams later explained. "All lions have excellent long-term memory, but this level of recognition and emotional bonding suggests cognitive abilities we're only beginning to understand." As Emma continued her gentle examination, Aslan's behavior became even more remarkable. He began nuzzling her hands with his massive head, the same affectionate behavior he had shown as a cub during Emma's mother's checkups. The lion seemed actively seeking comfort and connection from someone he remembered as extended family. "This is exactly how he used to behave with my mom," Emma told Dr. Stevens as he carefully approached. "He remembers the routine. He's letting me examine him just like when he was little." Zoo protocols called for immediate tranquilization of any escaped predator, but Dr. Stevens delayed intervention. "The animal is calm, healthy, and showing no aggressive tendencies," he radioed administration. "The civilian appears to have established complete control through natural behavioral communication." News crews arrived, broadcasting live footage nationwide. Social media exploded with images of the teenage girl sitting peacefully beside a full-grown African lion on a public road, both appearing completely comfortable. "Oh Mom, if you can see this," Emma whispered to Aslan, her voice carrying across the quiet crowd, "I hope you know everything you taught me about respecting animals is working. Your big boy remembers all the love you gave him." Dr. Stevens noticed Aslan's attention remained focused entirely on Emma despite the surrounding strangers. The lion showed no interest in exploring or fleeing, seeming content to remain close to the person representing safety and familiarity. "We need to guide them back," Dr. Stevens told his team. "Emma might be our best asset for a peaceful resolution. Aslan trusts her completely." The truly speechless moment came when Emma gently stood and began walking toward the zoo entrance. Without coaxing, Aslan immediately rose and followed, staying exactly at her left side like a well-trained companion. The massive predator showed no interest in running, he simply wanted to stay close to the person representing home and safety. "He's walking with her," Dr. Stevens narrated for news crews, his voice filled with wonder. "A 400-pound African lion is voluntarily walking back because he trusts this young woman completely." As they approached the gates, something even more extraordinary happened. Aslan stopped and gently took Emma's hand in his mouth, not biting, but holding it with the delicate precision lions use to carry cubs. He then led her directly to his habitat, guiding her along familiar paths they had walked countless times during her childhood visits. The footage of a teenage girl being gently guided by a lion holding her hand became one of the most viewed animal videos in internet history. Wildlife experts worldwide struggled to explain the cognitive reasoning and emotional intelligence displayed. "This represents a paradigm shift in our understanding of captive lion psychology," Dr. Williams documented. Aslan demonstrated memory, emotional attachment, problem-solving, and protective instincts, suggesting these animals possess far more complex inner lives than we recognized. At his enclosure, Aslan did something bringing tears to Emma's eyes and leaving the crowd stunned. He walked to a spot near the viewing area where a small memorial plaque honored Dr. Sarah Rodriguez's contributions. Aslan sat directly before the plaque and looked up at Emma as if acknowledging the memory of the woman who had cared for him since birth. "Oh, he remembers her," Emma whispered, kneeling beside the plaque reading, "Dr. Sarah Rodriguez, devoted veterinarian and friend to all creatures. He knows this is where we come to remember Mom." Aslan gently nuzzled Emma's face, then walked into his habitat and lay in his favorite sunny spot, completely calm. He had accomplished what he set out to do, reconnect with the family that raised him and pay respects to the woman who saved his life as a newborn. Zoo administration immediately implemented new protocols based on the day's events. Recognizing that Aslan's escape revealed important insights about animal emotional needs and maintaining connections with trusted caregivers, Emma was offered a permanent volunteer position to continue her relationship while pursuing veterinary studies. "Today proved love and trust transcend species boundaries," Emma told reporters. "Aslan isn't just an animal in captivity. He's a family member who needed to reconnect. Animals remember kindness, and they never forget the people who love them." Dr. Stevens established the Sarah Rodriguez Memorial Fund for Animal-Human Bond Research, using the unprecedented footage to study emotional connections between captive animals and human caregivers. The program became a worldwide model, emphasizing the importance of maintaining long-term relationships between animals and the families who care for them. 6 months later, Emma graduated as valedictorian of her veterinary program and was hired as the Riverside Zoo's youngest-ever staff veterinarian. Her first official act was conducting Aslan's annual health examination, a routine they had both been preparing for their entire lives, continuing the legacy of love and trust her mother had established years before.